Hi guys, welcome to our 4-bed supported living project. So now this is fully complete. So we're going to do a final walk around. The purpose of this video is actually to show other developers and other supported living professionals or aspiring professionals what is required in a supported living property. So all the compliance, room sizes, the type of furniture we get, little tips and tricks which Ashley will go through with you because he's pretty much done all of that. Okay, let me spin the camera around.
Thank you very much, mate. So this property was sourced, project managed by ourselves, and now we've passed it on to our supported accommodation providers. We've actually had the inspection today, which I have been verbally told has gone really well, so no issues flagged up, which means we're getting better and better with each one. Generally fine with one or two properties we have an issue here, there are a couple of things that have been missing, but I think we get a thumbs up from this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to speak about some of the obvious things that sort of the more experienced developers know that need to be in their HMOs, but excuse me if I'm sort of preaching to the choir, but I'm going to speak about as much as I can spot and as much as I can point out. So first thing we do too is, if you can kind of spin it round, we can kind of talk about a little bit about the design of what we do. Yeah. So firstly, brand new UPVC door at the front, and it needs to be thumb lock to satisfy fire regs, which you guys know. Out here, this little porch area, a lot of people may tile it, do different things with it. What we do is we put that sort of hard-wearing commercial grade carpet here, the type that you would get when you walk into, I don't know, a supermarket or a superstore or something. What it means is, as you can probably see, most of the crap from people's feet walking into the house is going to be left there. It's not going to be a slip hazard, so it's just something small but actually really functional.
Yeah, and then we can put a mat there anyway.
Exactly. Oops, apologies. So in this cupboard here, we have actually got the water meter. It's just around the back there, so it's just a nice little storage cupboard. Step into the hallway. You guys would have previously remembered that there was a stair lift there, which took weeks and weeks and weeks to come out. Again, as you guys know, this was one of the projects where we actually had to terminate the builder, and he had to come off the project because there were a load of things that were undone. There were a load of things that were done, but to poor quality. There were a lot of even more things that had been done that wouldn't have been compliant. I.e., if I open this door here, the use of fire hinges, he was using incorrect size hinges, and I believe he may have only had two in parts. The intromescent strips in this property didn't fit. He had supplied them but didn't fit them, but they didn't fit, so we had to go out and get new ones. So lots of small sort of compliance issues that we found. Fire door keep shut. It's not something that we put in our professional HMOs, but it is something that is required in our supported accommodation HMOs. So small tip there. As you guys know, a lot of what we do is just a cookie cutter approach. So you can see we just go with the standard grey blinds, which block out most of the light coming in. Yeah. Again, one of our furniture partners has delivered a full furniture pack for us, and this is just a whitewashed room. So it's just something that somebody is able to come in, put their mark on, maybe hang a few pictures, jazz it up a little bit. But again, standard grey carpet, grey and white is working really well for us, and we add a splash of colouring with this here. As expected, fire alarm.
Okay, so the furniture pack, how much would a furniture pack like this cost?
What's needed? On the spot now too.
250.
You're talking about 250, 300, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's single beds. Yeah, only.
Single beds for supported. Obviously, we don't want to encourage, couples or people staying over, children staying over. And we also provide all the bedding. So somebody new wants to move into the property. They have got all new bedding. They're not reusing bedding. I see a lot of people doing supported accommodation, supported housing. They're reusing old mattresses, reusing old beds, reusing old furniture. My only question to most people is would you be happy with that? As much as the people that are coming into the property are coming in for supported accommodation, for us it's all about the type of accommodation that we're creating for these people, and not sort of numbers, trying to cram as many people into a property as possible. That's not what we're about. And thankfully, our supported housing partner, that's not what they're about either. And this is why we've got a good synergy.
Yeah, and one second, sorry. That was there, was it? The kitchen was actually here, wasn't it?
Yes, so sorry, apologies. This whole room was the kitchen. So we had to do a bit of work to run the drainage from what is now the kitchen diner actually through the old area.
And then took away the meters and stuff.
Yeah, moved all the meters. So the meter's been turned around and it's actually outside now, the gas meter. So again, we see some properties where if you've got an old existing property and you've got a gas meter in a room, okay, it's okay maybe for the meantime. My advice is when you're doing any works, get it sorted, get it moved into a communal area. Inside here we've got the electric meter, and if you just pop right there to all the things that we provide for a new supported housing project, which is vacuum, ironing board, shoe rack, also notice board. So what that means is our partners will come in, they'll put all their information on the board and it's there, or fire information, gas information, etc. Kitchen diner, which we're quite pleased with, aren't we? I think it's a really nice space.
Really big space.
Yeah,
Catches the light really well.
Yeah, so dining table and chairs as standard. Again, it's exactly the same as we would provide in a professional HMO. Same TV on the wall, high-speed internet, which is business broadband, Virgin Media 350 meg, microwave, toaster,
washing machine, tumble dryer.
Washing machine, tumble dryer. We always get the washer and dryer in one, just makes it easier. It's the unvented one, so you don't need to vent out into the garden. And a couple of fridges, so you're never going to have any issues with fridge space. And ultimately, it makes people feel more at home if they're not having to put food in their rooms or store things in their rooms. They've got 2 big fridges to share between 4 people. Not going to spend too much time in the back garden, but there was previously a glass conservatory there. Yeah. Now, I think when we first started the project, towards the start of lockdown, we were actually unsure if we were going to keep it or not. But I think we made a decision quite early on to actually remove it because it was glass and for safety. Actually, looking back at it now too, it's crazy that it even took us that long to actually make a decision. It should have just been gone from day one.
So do a quick scan.
Yeah, but we've gone, and low maintenance back garden. All good. And again, this was all brand new UPVC door, brand new windows there.
So fire alarms, fire blanket.
So yeah, standard stuff. You can see the CO2 alarm there, just above where the boiler is. Then we've got heat alarm, and you can see we've got fire blankets. We have got fire signage as well as the emergency lighting. Door closers on all doors, and it's not sort of the cheap ones that are going to get jammed. It's really sturdy ones.
And
push pull in all communal areas.
First aid kit.
Couple of bins, so the standard bin and the recycling bin. First aid kit. I was running around trying to grab it, so that's why it's so small. It's not very impressive. And yeah, microwave.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this room was previously the lounge. All we've done is just move the kitchen, put it into this area, and made it a fully functioning kitchen diner, which I think is a really, really good space. Now, up the stairs, now our dreaded stair lift is gone. So you can see, really big room. Decent landing space as well. Again, just behind you 2 fire exit signs, which again, we probably wouldn't normally put in our professional HMOs. Or we will make sure we try and use the emergency lighting that has got the arrows, but all good. Same again, so this property didn't have gas central heating, so we've had to plumb all through into every single room. Gas central heating now is in every single room. And again, for us, it's a nice, bright, airy room. This room was actually probably up until about that wall too. So it was slightly undersized when we first sourced it. But from the sourcing perspective, we always knew we wanted rooms in and around 10 square meters. So we've actually moved it across, created a stud wall here. What it means is, in the future, and I think this is probably a good point about what myself and Tu do, is when we actually source, we will always try and have a secondary exit. So as you guys know, in Birmingham, it's Article 4. It's not as easy now to just convert to a professional C4 HMO. But in this area, there's not a huge concentration of professional HMOs. We are going to be using it for supported for the meantime. But in the future, we're literally a stone's throw from Newman University. So if we were to look and potentially go down the professional route, then again, they're really big, good functional rooms for
Yeah,
professionals.
these are investments are forever, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities out there for you to buy properties to use as supported accommodation that, let's be honest, will only ever be supported accommodation. So some of the areas in and around the city centre, just on the outskirts of the city centre, you can sometimes pick up cheaper properties, but the chances of them ever being decent enough for a professional HMO is slim to none. What people don't realise is there's a lot happening in the supported housing world. A lot of the supported accommodation companies now, again, this is, for us, this is a good standard finish, it's a good functional finish. You've got brand new mattresses, brand new beds, all brand new furniture. The house is been done sort of from top to bottom. Some of these houses where you've got, old bits of furniture sort of stacked together, you've got the bare minimum when it comes to fire safety and amenities. Tenants are not going to stay there. So our advice to most people is treat your tenants, the tenants that are going to be living in your properties that are getting supported housing, treat them the same way you would treat professionals.
Yeah. But then, at the end, there's somebody has got to want to live there. Exactly. And it is a business for somebody else.
Exactly. Into the room 3. So again, all your standard safety stuff, so you can see you've got gas central heating, fresh blinds, you've got smoke alarms. This is a really good space actually. I'm quite pleased how this one turned out.
Yeah.
This was previously a wardrobe, sort of this whole area that I'm standing. So we've opened it up and ensured that the room's much bigger, and now we've managed to put a chest of drawers in there, and I think it's a really good functional room. It's
actually really big.
No one's going to complain yet. I mean, again, if we're potentially going the professional route and we're going with our bigger sort of 3/4 beds, there's plenty of space. You could even get a desk in here, couldn't you too?
Mm-hmm. Oh, more than a space.
Yep. Nobody wants cramped rooms. Nobody anywhere wants cramped rooms. And room number 4, which is the final room. So again, we've got all new UPVC windows, radiators done, absolutely fresh. So this project has been pretty much a full refurb, hasn't it too?
Yeah, what you ended up as one.
Yeah. I mean, we initially costed it to be a full refurb anyway. Starting during COVID, a load of issues with the previous builder, having to kick him off 2 jobs, to then get another experienced builder to come in, assess the works, assess what needs to be done, and actually get it done to a standard. You guys can imagine it's took us quite a bit longer than we would have liked. So generally you see us put a few pictures in and around the properties. Our supported housing partner Crossroads have actually asked us just to get photo frames. So it means that they can sort of print out some of their own inspirational quotes. They can stick it up and just can sort of interchange and just keep it fresh.
It's a nice
really.
touch.
Yeah, it's a good touch.
Yeah, and with the furniture, it's just something nice, modern, but easy to replace.
Exactly.
That's the important thing.
Exactly. So with our partners now, we're not only working with people that can fulfill that first order and get the stock in. We're actually working with people that pretty much at the drop of a dime can come in and replace the furniture if needed, because when we're turning around and tenants are turning around and we're spinning rooms, we're having to clean rooms, you want to get in and out within a day.
Yep.
We can show you the bathrooms. So again, this was one large toilet, bathroom. What we've done, split it down, so you've got separate WC and wash basin, and you have got separate shower room, which is a really nice waterfall shower, which is about 10 times better than mine at home. Which is always the case, isn't it, too?
And the reason we split it into 2 is because we've only got 1 bathroom.
Exactly.
And there's 4 people.
Exactly.
So people can actually use both at the same time.
Exactly. So the 1 bathroom would have been above amenity space, but we want to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a good one. We're glad we come to the end of it.
Yeah, finally.
All good.
Okay. So I think that, hopefully that's been helpful for anybody who wants to do supported living. And that's pretty much the standard that anybody would want to be working at. Okay.
Yeah.
See you guys in the next one. Bye.